Hey everybody, it's Clint. It's not often that you post something in a comment section and then you see yourself mere minutes later um, as like the featured post. I mean, it happens every now and then. Um, but Comics Matter with your boy Zach posted this post on his community page about freelancers getting screwed, basically stiffed by publishers, and I want to talk about that. I had an opinion on it, and I posted it, and then he talked about it shortly after. So this is something I have a strong opinion about. Before we get into this, though, Downcast Volume 4 Hunting Ground is going to be launching early next year. The pre-launch page is up. It's available. There's not a lot there yet. I'll be leaking out more information, especially as Fatal starts shipping. You can check it out in the link in the description below. Know that if you backed Fatal, it is coming soon. The printer's working on a proof. I'm expecting the proof this week, and production on the book should start very soon. So that's where we're at. Really excited for it. So thanks for your patience. All right. So here's the thing. There have been some comic book creators coming out saying, "Hey, this has been a terrible year. Essentially, I've done lots of work, and there have been comic book publishers that are not paying me out, and all I've been doing is trying to get money." Now, I know enough to know that this is actually a business practice that happens around, and it's basically a way to maintain positive cash flow. So a business will, avoid paying off debts, any payments that they have to pay, as long as they possibly can. They're not going to pay the bill the first day it's due. They're going to pay it the last day that it's due. And they're going to try to collect their money as soon as possible. And in doing this, they're going to create some positive cash flow that they get a hold on to that money as long as possible. Now, this isn't a terrible thing. This is something that's pretty common practice. When it crosses the line into terrible is because when they are paying freelancers that don't have a due date, like they've been sent the invoice, the due date hasn't come because there is no due date. This is a comic book professional that is just hoping to continue getting work from a large publisher, or there's really not that many publishers out there that are paying people. For you to make a full-time living, all the people that are desperate to scrape out a full-time living in comics, it's very hard. And so what they have found is that there's no final due date, and so they can stretch that out as long as possible, 6 months, a year, however long it takes. This is unheard of, basically in crowdfunding and really, independent comics, because you got to pay people in order to get the work done. Like the work itself is valuable. You got to get it done so you can move on to the next project, right? So I posted this. This is a tactics for publishers to keep production going without getting a loan. They're basically making the freelancers non-consensual creditors at 0% interest. And that is absolutely what they're doing. That way they can float books. They've got things moving. If something fails and doesn't do well, they still have enough cash flow that they can entice the next creator on. But they're gonna hold off on paying other ones. Now, the only reason this works is because freelancers are so desperate for work. And something I've come to learn the hard way in comics is that it's not always about money. Like this whole discussion here is about money, but it's not always about money. It's often about power and what little power you can gain in comics. It's like, it seems so trivial and disgusting, but it's true. Some people, because they're not making enough money in comics, it's like doing it for the love of it. They also want to, exploit others and have whatever power they can possibly hang over anyone's head for whatever, minuscule amount of money so that they can string people along. The fact that there are freelancers that desperately don't want their reputation ruined, they're afraid of not getting work at Valiant, for example, ever again, because if they complain, that's a whole other revenue stream. They might not be making money from the big two, or they might not have the resources to do creator owned stuff, and so they're extremely limited on where they can go to get work. And so what are they going to do? Valiant can bully them around 100%. So what do? You got to be the squeaky wheel, right? The risk of speaking out when you're being taken advantage of is that you absolutely can be blacklisted. And you know, in comics, it seems like there's so many people that are not above a smear campaign. They will absolutely drag your name through the mud. And who are you going to trust? The big publisher, an editor? Like it doesn't matter who it is. They're going to go on the smear campaign. And if it's not public, it's going to be private. And you will find yourself not only not getting work at this one publisher, you'll find yourself not getting work at any publishers. So what do you do? Um, Unfortunately, I think that a lot of artists, I think I can relate on at least this level, that people want to do a good job. you know, they want to get along, and so when you are, an agreeable person, it's easier for them to take advantage of you. They're less likely to take advantage of any of the bigger name people, or anyone that's known to throw their weight around or play this dirty game that exists in comic books of leverage over others. And so what they're going to do is they're going to take advantage of the creators who are agreeable, who are maybe people pleasers to some extent. They're going to take advantage of the nice guys, and because they believe that you're not going to speak out, they believe that whatever leverage they have over you is plenty enough. It's really sad, but it's far too common. This is what I love about being independent. I can make my own decisions. I can decide everything. And ultimately, yes, it's up to the readers, and if they want to read my comic books, that's what it's about. But even then, if I want to keep making comics, I'm going to keep making comics. I could just do it. So that's a pretty great feeling. I can't imagine, having mouths to feed, having kids that are depending upon you making a living in comics, and you have to deal with people that are willing to hold your career over your heads. Essentially, they're going to hold your career over your head. You better not complain. It'd be a shame if this place burned down, so on and so on. It's really sad, and it happens far too often. The closer I get to comics, the more I just, wow. Well, again, lots of great people out there, but yeah, lots of also disgusting stuff out there too. So I don't know. Let me know what you think about this. What's the solution? In my opinion, I already said it. Like, independence is a fantastic thing, and making your own decisions is a fantastic thing. Not relying upon anybody, but yeah, I mean, if you need to make that paycheck, maybe it's a good idea to get a side gig. Get a job that has nothing to do with comics. I promise you, if you're delivering pizzas, if you have almost any other job, it's just not like that. So do comics on the side, not as the main gig. Anyway, thanks for watching. Appreciate you all. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll be back with more video content soon.